can the United States have a birth chart? Like, can you make a prediction about a country?
Yeah, so anything that is born that's a business or a country has a birth chart. So yeah, the US does have a birth chart, and it's interesting.
Yeah, that's good. Actually, great question.
Thank
That
you.
is a great question.
So like, can you predict anything in the next couple months? And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but maybe is there anything before the election? Listen, we had an assassination attempt. We have all these different things going on outside of the United States that we have our hands in. I mean, are you seeing anything about our country?
I don't have the US chart on hand, but I can say that the US chart has Mars in a place, which Mars is action and aggression, in a place in the US chart that can maybe show others an attack by other people or some sort of aggression. And I predicted that would happen around August. That didn't happen, but that was when Iran was threatening the US. So that's a little bit in the past. Future wise, I'm not too sure.
August, we're not through all the way through August. So
that's right, we're not. And for July, well, we can talk about that when we get to Trump. But I'm not looking at the chart right now, so I can't be completely sure what's happening. But I think there will be maybe some unrest.
Interesting. You mean before the election?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
That's such a great. Now I'm like, okay, what's America's like rising sign? You know what I mean? She was born in like 1770.
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. What does a Sagittarius mean? What are the qualities of a Sagittarius?
Very expansive, open to learning new things, very open to new cultures.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like our girl.
That's
our girl.
Okay. We love America. Yep.
Yeah. America is a Cancer sun, a Sagittarius rising, and an Aquarius moon.
Oh.
And it's said that the founders of the Constitution, like Ben Franklin, he was into astrology. He did the Farmer's Almanac, that they elected this specific date and time because of the astrology that was happening on that day.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. That is fascinating. Oh my God.
Incidentally, Amy, what are your thoughts on daily horoscopes then? And all these people really, before they start work, while they're drinking coffee, they're reading these things. Do you think they're accurate? Because they're not going by the birth chart, are they?
No, they're just going by your sun sign, which is just one part of your birth chart. So it's like 30% of, what you would want to look at. So it's not covering everything. Horoscopes are more pop astrology. And if you really want good predictions, you will need to look at your whole birth chart.
Interesting. Okay. And do you believe in those things where they say like, oh, you're an Aquarius, so you should be dating someone who's a Cancer and definitely stay away from a Virgo? I just made that up. But like,
No, I hate when people do that because I'm like, you're missing out. The sun sign compatibility. I mean, it matters, but it's definitely not the most important thing to see in a relationship. So you have to look at how both people's birth charts impact each other, which is called synastry, or basically compatibility.
Right. Interesting. All right. So let's move to what we really want to know about: who is going to win this election. So let's talk about the birth charts for Donald and Kamala for November 5th, election night. Okay.
I'll start with Trump. He has one of the most fortunate transits that you can have. It often results in success or gaining more status in your profession or publicly. And this is going to be Jupiter conjunct his sun and North Node. And I'll explain the North Node in just a second. But Jupiter to your sun, Jupiter is the planet of expansion, abundance, good fortune, blessings. Your sun is your identity. And his sun happens to be his chart ruler because he's a Leo rising and the sun rules Leo. So that makes the sun very important in his chart. Also, the sun is in his 10th house of career. So this Jupiter transit will have a direct impact on his career and public status. He also is going to have Jupiter conjunct the North Node, which is really interesting because this is a transit that Kamala is also going to have. They have their North Nodes at the same position, even though they're born years apart.
Wow.
And this is an especially beneficial transit. You can be very fortunate, acquire a new job. It might be one of the best transits you can have every 12 years. And both of them are having that transit. Uranus, the planet of sudden change, accidents, reversals, unpredictability, is conjunct Trump's midheaven, which is his career and public angle. And we've already kind of seen how that's played out with the assassination attempt, because his Uranus is square Mars, which, like I said, is action and aggression. When you put those two together, that's a classic combination for violence. And some people, a lot of astrologers are saying that Uranus on his midheaven would show he's going to lose. But I disagree, because you have to see what aspects Uranus is making to determine that. And Uranus is sextile Saturn, which is the planet of your commitments. A lot of times it represents your profession. And typically it shows a job change, but something that blends the old with the new. So for that reason, I feel like that more challenging transit may work out in his favor. He also has Venus, which is the planet of love, beauty, relationships, conjunct his natal moon. And this often will make an individual really popular. So he has a lot of good transits going on. Some of the best you could have. I mean,
So-
there are, go ahead.
And sorry, I'm just curious. So does that mean it's just for that one night, or like if election night happened to happen on November 10th, he would have had a worse night than he did on this night?
So yeah, so the stars change every day, so it would be different. Not drastically different, because some planets move very slowly, so they're going to be in the same place. But as far as the quicker moving planets like the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, they would be in different positions, which could affect the outcome.
Is there any, okay, it sounds like you're saying that you believe former President Trump will be reelected this fall, but is there any way that Vice President
Well, wait,
Kamala
she hasn't read Kamala's chart yet. We don't know that that's what she's saying. Is she?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now,
I mean, that's not what I was saying, but I do think Trump's going to win. Yes, that's my prediction.
okay, wait, before you predict that, hold on, Sarah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it obviously, I mean, that whole thing went over my head, but it sounded like Trump is having a great night on November.
Yeah, he basically has a lot of good fortune coming to him, being lucky, expanding, growing, whatever he's doing in his career.
Okay. All right. So now let's read Kamala's and see what her night is going to be.
Okay. So she also has a strong Jupiter transit as well. And like I said, Jupiter is conjunct her North Node in her chart, which is a point of good karma. And Donald Trump is having the same thing. And this shows like rising in your position, good fortune. Like I said, it's one of the better transits you can have over a 12-year period. They're both having that. Jupiter is also conjunct Kamala's ascendant. And that is another great transit for kind of coming out to the world, being on the center stage, gaining influence. So she does have very positive transits as well. But where they differ is Kamala has Saturn opposite Uranus and Uranus square Saturn. And basically what that means would be job changes that would be more disruptive than easier to accommodate. So Trump has job changes that show more excitement and ease, but she has job disruptions or job changes showing more disruptiveness in her chart.